I am the only one with the power.
Oh. Hi. Oh. You'd think you'd seen a mic before.
Yeah. Normally people set these up for me, turn them on. Those things, and they don't.
Yeah, it's true. Those are the rules.
Don't touch the tech.
Good afternoon, Colorado Anime Fest. You have survived.
We're not there yet. Knock on wood.
We're almost at the end of the zombie apocalypse and you have survived. Very proud of you. So it is my absolute pleasure to introduce these two wonderful human beings. I myself am Kit Watson, a best-selling author from Canada. This is my partner in life.
And crime, and music.
My worst half. Ciarán Strange, voice actor, singer, author, pain in the butt. Jerry's like, yes, the last one. Absolutely. And to the far left is Mr. Jewell.
Hi.
That's his musician name, Jerry
Jewell. Jewell.
And it is a real name, by the way. Nobody made that up and changed it or stuff. I have two brothers. Their names are Jimmy and Jason.
Jimmy Jewell and Jason
Yeah, we have Jimmy Jewell, Jason Jewell, and Jerry Jewell. My parents are just cruel.
Did you have a family band?
Huh?
Did you have a family band?
Absolutely, we have a family band.
The crown of family jewels!
Yeah, oh no! I can't believe you besmirched my name in this way.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, it's fine. I've heard it 1,000
Oh,
times.
sure, I'm sorry.
It's all
You
right.
did a
Try to be
good-
more creative next time.
He's voice actor, director at Crunch and Munch.
Crunchy Bunch.
It's Crunchyroll now.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Right.
Rolling with the crunchies.
Yeah. And he happens to be, I'm sorry, the worst half of my best friend in the audience over there. Shauna. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, once you're on stage. If you infect me, I'll forgive you.
Yeah, it can't exist up here. We've got an invisible barrier.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you see each other on Thursday anyway.
But yeah. So if I get sick, I'll just, blame you.
Yeah, that'll be alright.
Okay, it's Jerry's fault. So, do you want to open it up with a cool song? This is the thing about Jerry. He's like this amazing actor, but he's an even better, in my opinion, musician and singer.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Yeah.
And I'm about to prove you wrong in front of all these people.
Now everyone knows I have crap taste.
Right? They're going to go, that wasn't good at all. I wasn't prepared to start off with a song, but if I think of one real quick, I could start off with a song. Let's see, what's a good song to start off with? Family band, you said.
Yes.
We did have a family band, and this being the day that it is, let me give you a little taste of how it all started off.
Oh wow.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh boy.
This is the stuff you don't see on the ending credits.
Oh boy! Pardon. I need a kick up.
It's gonna be one of those comedian skits where every time you think he's gonna start.
I need a donut.
Oh, this might be better. No, a little bit higher.
It's amazing to me he can do this. As a singer with a band, he plays very little guitar, just enough to kind of like write. Watching people do this and just change tune and figure out where it's going, it is nuts.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know how
We'll
it
find
goes.
out. I'm good with this. We got your back either way. You do look like a peep on the screen.
I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day, and I saw that hearse come rolling, come to take my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I'm not going to sing any more of it, but that's how it started out.
Okay.
is we all sang in church for the first time.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, my family all died. It was just me and my brothers.
That song was written at the funeral of my mother. No, I'm just kidding. My mother would be so unhappy to hear that because I'm gonna call her tomorrow, and she'll be so upset.
Country song? They're all sad. That's the point.
They're not all
Some
sad.
of them are. I find that like country music, especially in like
That wasn't. Hey, that song was in the hymnal. Gosh darn it. We just sang them in a country way because we were country people in the country.
Wow. This is beautiful. I'm having a moment.
dig it.
Oklahoma, by the way,
Oh,
is where it started.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And then what happened after the family band? You pursued with it.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your career in music. I heard you might have been in a band with somebody else at Function Munch.
Yeah, I was in a band with Justin Cook. We played together for a very long time.
So you know all his secrets? Like you could blackmail him really easily.
I could, but why would I? Because he could probably blackmail me just as easily. Yeah, we got together sometime. I mean, we played music together in high school, but it was a couple years after high school, after he had already moved out to Colorado and then moved back to Arkansas. We started writing music together. Right? That was fun. It was fun. The music was something.
Do you have like a stack of unsold CDs in your garage?
No, we made a recording for ourselves. So it's out there somewhere. But after we got with the other guys from the Peach Truck Republic, which is the band we played in for a decade or so.
The Peach Truck
The
Republic.
Peach Truck Republic. Because the head of the band, I would call him, was a huge fan of the Allman Brothers. So, yes. So it's kind of a shout out to, hey, I like the Allman Brothers.
If you like them, maybe you'll like
Yeah,
us.
maybe you'll like us. We don't
You
sound like them at all.
CK1, you'll like refreshment.
Yeah,
Drugstore perfume.
that's how that went. Let's see. What there? Oh, okay.
Oh, it's coming to inspiration is striking.
Cool,
I wouldn't say inspiration.
You're witnessing genius right here.
No, it's just you're giving me things because we're talking about music and how things happen. So I'll try to do an old song that. Let me see. Let me think of something that
Doesn't
Justin
sound like
wrote.
the Allman Brothers.
That
Doesn't sound
definitely
like
doesn't sound like it. Won't be a Peach Truck song.
Does
I
anyone
won't-
know who the Allman Brothers are?
I'm not doing it.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you.
Chocolate.
With Allman Brothers? What's the joke? Oh, I'm not.
Brothers.
I don't know. What is-
We've made a few cannibalism jokes this week.
That's true.
Yes.
I've never come out of a coma with so many good jokes.
Let's see. I'll play you a part of a song
Do it.
that we wrote. Of course, you understand I can't play whole songs up here, or else we'd just be
Yeah.
doing nothing.
The big comedy.
Doing nothing. Okay. I think this is the first song Justin and I wrote together.
Oh gosh.
Harmonics.
Oops. Let me see, I haven't played it in a long time. So you left your past and thought to find something new. But did you ever think your past would ever leave you? When you look into the mirror, are you pleased with what you see? Or can't you even look beyond the lover in your eyes? When the moon goes down and the light
enjoy this.
We're in Denver. It's a good time.
So that was the first song Justin and I wrote together in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
What was that like for you? What was that? Because I know Ciarán and I have been working in music for a long time.
Yeah, songwriting is...
The songwriting process can involve a lot of swearing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's handy to have been an instrumentalist as well, is because I mean, by the time I guess I was 18 or 19 at that time when we moved back. So, I mean, no one obviously when they say, I've been playing guitar for this many years, they don't mean they were just as good when they started as they are currently. So, with that being understood, I've been playing guitar since I was like 6.
Right.
So by the time I was at 18, I already had a functional understanding of, here are the chords that go together, so I knew that part. I had written songs before at a younger age, so I had that. So as long as I could come up with the music, Justin's like, I'll make up some words.
Oh, that's good. So you were the instrument and...
Primarily.
Yeah.
I did write words as well,
right.
Especially later on, because I'm more motivated. But, you know.
More motivated
well,
than
to write songs.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was like...
Not in everything in life,
Not
obviously.
everything.
But yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Ciarán, what about your songwriting process?
So what was weird is I started off solo, just wanting to kind of do my own thing. Fell into a band, which was fun, and they kind of put the lyrics like at the back and was singing at the back end, and they just wanted to kind of wank around on their guitars a lot.
That's most guitar players, by
Which is most guitar players, by the way, and that was fun. And then I moved back to Vancouver and I started getting put in a lot of writing rooms with kind of like those more like sort of top 40, like, and we were writing songs for other people as well. And that was like my hard education of like, okay, so this is how a song goes together, and this is how a chorus has to work, and this is when you need the chorus, and oh my god, why is it so long, and oh my god, why aren't you telling a story, and so when I got back into a band situation, I came in way more like equipped. I think like, yeah, it's not, I think the best we've ever done is we've written a song in like a day. It was like 6 hours, and we barely changed it. We really liked it, and it was a lot of me putting the lyrics down and the melody while the guitarist was kind of like strumming around on the guitar, and so I love that when you as a singer can sing with like. Was Justin your singer? Was he bassist?
At the time, he was singing.
Right. Yeah. So when you can sit as a singer and like
yeah.
the musician, that's like so cool. Who out there is currently a musician or in a band or a singer or an idol wannabe? Hell yeah, who's just a fan?
Everybody's a fan.
I mean, everybody's like. But yeah, I think the wild stuff happens when you start like hitting the road though. Like, 'cause you toured for a bit, right? How many years were you touring?
I mean, we kind of stayed close to home kind of tours, so we did tri-state area stuff mostly.
Gotcha.
Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas.
Which is good for that kind of music.
Yeah, but it was over a decade.
Damn.
Yeah. But, you know, it's not like we were doing it constantly all the time. We'd go out on the weekends for sure.
So I have a question for you. Did you actually make money?
Well, the band made money. Did I make money? No. But the band made money, yes. But it went back into the band.
Right.
Because everything costs money.
It does.
So, you know, to those people that are like, I'm gonna strike it rich and we're gonna be in a band and make money. Well, that could happen eventually. But in the beginning, you'll be lucky if you pay for the gas that you're gonna have to buy and food for everyone. And God forbid you should blow out a tire on the road.
Which we have.
Everybody's done it. Yeah, it's terrible. And
I think I was somewhere by Pecos, Texas, and we blew a tire, and I was out on the side of the road with a glue gun.
Oh yeah, you
and some
it.
duct tape, and I was like, I used to be a mechanic. I can make this work. And I got us to the next town.
Cosplay got us to the next town.
Yeah, cosplay got us to the
It
next
was
town.
amazing.
That was fantastic.
We've done one, we were in Ottawa, and we did not stop at the last gas station, and we heavily misjudged where the next gas station.
Ontario is a lot bigger
Ontario is
than I
Very big.
So my home province of British Columbia is about maybe a quarter of the size of Ontario, and British Columbia is bigger than Texas. So I
It's
did
pretty
not
bad.
anticipate it.
And so it was a lot of like, we turned everything off in the car that sucked up extra gas. So it was blistering hot with the windows rolled down and no aircon on. We would just, and every time we got to the top of a hill, we would just let ourselves like
I would
coast.
shift into neutral, very dangerous. Do not do that.
Don't ever, okay,
Don't
do
ever
never
do
ever do
that.
this.
But I shifted
And just
to
let
neutral.
ourselves roll a little bit, and we rolled slowly into the gas station. And we were just like, yes! And it was a really old gas station where they had the like 1960s style pumps. And there's like the guy with the cigarette in the newspaper, like what's going on?
Because I'd been watching on my phone as the map was like, you are now a 5-hour drive to the next gas station. You are now 4.5-hour drive, like walking. And I was like, oh, good. If
We were
were-
making plans.
I'm like,
staying with the
if
car.
who's staying with the car and who's getting out and walking for 4 hours? And do you have any stories like that?
We blew a fender off of the trailer. A tire did.
Oh.
Coming back from Amarillo.
Oh.
Dead of night.
Oh.
So
I'm so
a couple
sorry.
of us had to walk down the road to find the fender.
Right.
And then we picked up the fender and we're walking down the side of the road with a fender. And that's when the police decided. Luckily, they totally believed our story because they saw the fender, they saw the trailer, they saw that it had a
Right.
busted tire, and they're like, okay, well,
So they were.
hope you make it out safe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you all white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't need reflective clothing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the wild thing is that like I saw this thing. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if anyone remembers seeing this thing, but there was this big thing about this band, and they were like, oh, we can't afford to tour, and so we take money, and they broke down how much they spend on.
Oh, it was the guy who owns Patreon.
Right, so
This is why.
he could say like, this is why you should use Patreon, and he was like, well, we spend like $2,000 on hotel rooms every room, and I'm like, that is unbelievable. Like we camped.
Well, that's because they each member of the band had their own hotel.
It's so stupid. We would camp, man. We would get to the city early, and we would play like a show at night, and it was brutal. And we would tour between conventions, and then we would do a call on the weekend. I don't know why I'm not dead. I have no idea how I'm still alive, or you.
Well,
Both of us.
we did get chased by wild dogs in Arkansas.
We've been chased by
Yeah,
wild
that was exciting.
dogs. I've been saved from a creepy guy by a guy who flashed his revolver, which was really cool. I was the first time I'd ever seen a gun, little British kid. But it's like we would get to the location early. We would stay at the KOA campsites. We would set our little tent up, and we'd make our dinner, which was typically like SpaghettiOs or something sad over a paraffin heater. And then we would go to our gig and we'd play the show, and then we'd come back and we'd sleep in our tent, and then we'd wake up the next morning and we'd put the tent down and we'd move on. And that way, we could sleep for like $10 a night. But we weren't killing ourselves. Like, I think you said you hit a wall, and part of it was just because we ran ourselves into the ground touring. We didn't drink, we didn't party, like...
I think I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm too old to sleep in the back of the SUV.
Yeah, like we threw a mattress in the back of the SUV one time. It was great. Like,
That's where networking came in handy for us. So what we would do is when we would go play in different cities, there were plenty of times that we're playing on stage, we go, hey, and if anybody has any extra room on your floor, on your couch, in your garage, we'd love to have a place to stay tonight. And invariably, there would almost always be somebody that's like, hey, you can crash with us tonight.
yeah,
And you wind up becoming friends with them.
yeah.
Right.
And next time you come through, you got a place to stay.
That is...
We were that stop in
We were
Vancouver.
gonna say we were that stop in Vancouver, and we would have American bands that would come up, and they'd be like, "You can get weird here. This is so cool."
Yeah.
And then they'd like kind of dump it with us, and we'd be like, "Okay, well, cool, thanks." And but we'd give them like a space and a couch and
Yeah.
food and a shower. We had someone in Dallas who did that for us. Sully and Tyson
Yeah.
would do that. Tyson Reinhardt was, and his other half were our stop, and we knew that when we got to Dallas, we got a bed, a shower, a meal. Like that is like,
Yeah.
oh, we
And
could-
Sully's like a chef. Like her mom was like
Yeah.
a professional chef, so it was always good eating. We'd like starve ourselves till we got there.
And you'd be happy when that kind of stuff
Right.
happened. You'd be like, breakfast?
What?
This is the best day ever.
What the best?
Yeah.
Well, and we had a rule that when we did get motel rooms when we were with a band, we had a rule that the driver and the singers got the beds first, because body. And then after that, the guitarist and then the bassist just always got scrod. I'm so sorry.
It's true.
So when we got to Dallas, everyone got like a comfy couch or a bed or something to sleep on. It was like,
So last time we did this panel, you sang this amazing folk song. Do you remember which one it was? You're like, no.
I don't.
It was like,
I mean, I remember a few different ones.
yeah, you sang this like crazy good song, and your voice was like angelic, which is total opposite from how you are inside. So
Angelic.
I don't remember. Jana, do you remember?
wasn't the one about mom dying?
No, it wasn't about mom dying. That's sad. You would have liked it. It was wonderful. Should have been there.
Okay, there were a couple of them that I remember playing. One of them was
I think it was that one.
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
No, I'll do
You
it.
don't have to.
I'll do it. How could you not want to do it? It's- Okay, I got to put on an action for this
Yes,
one
it's
because
this one,
otherwise
it's this
I don't feel
It's
right.
the one with the action.
Gird your loins. This is gonna be incredible.
I hope this is the one.
I'm sure it is.
As I come out to Dublin City at the hour of 12 at night, who shall espy but the Spanish lady washing her feet by the candlelight? First she washed and then she dried them over the fire of ash and coal. In all my life I ne'er did see a mate so sweet about the soul. Whack full of tooraloo-ray, whack full of tooraloo-ray, whack full of tooraloo-ray, whack full of tooraloo-ray. I'll speed it up. As I come back to Dublin City, as the sun began to set, who shall I spy but the Spanish lady catching them up in a golden net? First she saw me, then she fled me, left with a petticoat over her knee. In all my life I ne'er did see a mate so sweet as the Spanish lady. Whack full of tooraloo-ray, whack full of tooraloo-ray, whack full of tooraloo-ray, whack full of tooraloo-ray. I've wandered north and I've wandered south to the Stony Battery and Patrick's Close, up and around by the Glacier Diamond and back by Nefertari's house. Whoa, age has laid its hands on me. Cold is the fire of ash and coal. But where was a lovely Spanish lady, neat and sweet about the soul? Whack full of tooraloo-ray, 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 whack full of tooraloo-ray.
There you go.
My water gives me fucking chills, man. I love when you put that shape, that little tremor on the end of the line.
See, here's the weird part about that. The biggest reason I ever wanted to learn to play any musical instrument was because I wanted to sing, but I had no accompaniment. And it's like, we all played in the family, but it's not like it was my brothers were there going, hey, you want me to play a song for you while you sing it? That was never happening, ever.
It wasn't like in the movie.
No, it's not like that at all. So that was kind of, you know, and then when I go, oh, but that's a piano song. Well, guess I better learn to play piano.
Right.
You know, that's how all of that stuff went. So I learned to play different instruments just so I could have something to sing to.
Something to sing to.
And so it becomes one of those things, though, that now people want me to play instruments. And I'm like, but can I just sing?
I'm like, this is
Can
what
I
need.
just sing?
I worked so hard for this. Don't take this from me.
Well, it's like anything else. You know,
Yeah.
I can sing and play well enough, but if I can sing without having to think about playing, it's that much better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel that. That's why, like, I'm the same. Like, I'd love to learn to just play a little better, just so I can accompany myself. So like to my finger is not broken. But if for the same reason, like I love to just be able to just play a song. Like I still wouldn't want to do it all the time when I perform on stage because there's something about singing you don't have to think about.
Oh, for sure.
All this stuff.
And you can just get in your head.
Yeah, and just enjoy the music,
on that.
the words. Yeah.
Because otherwise you're like, are my fingers in the right place?
What's going next?
What's going on?
Okay, I'm gonna do this part. Oh my god, that one still hurts. Just get through it. Like, yeah. Oh wow. I remember my dad taught me how to use my vibrato, and he was like, "See what he's doing at the end there? You see that like the way his voice shakes like that? Yeah, try doing that." And that was how I learned to do vibrato.
There are so many different types of vibrato, and you know everybody's got their own, and it's fun to play around with. And that's the thing, is being a mimic, you learn different people's vibrato.
Right.
So like you go, oh, there's an Elvis vibrato.
Yeah.
There's a Freddie Mercury vibrato.
Where are you putting it? How
Yeah,
are you shaking it? Yeah.
there's a Neville Brothers weird vibrato. It's like a reverse.
It's a reverse vibrato.
Yeah, you never heard the Neville Brothers?
No,
you,
I've never heard
you,
the vibrato.
you guys have heard that song, right? The one,
Which one is
the
I might
real
know
famous
it.
one. I don't know.
Oh, that's
But I know I love you.
What is that noise? What is that?
Yeah. So be all I need to know.
It's like in here. It's like, where is it
Where's that coming from?
Oh my god, that's
So I have a question for you. John is killing herself. She's like, I'm gonna leave you here. Sorry. Sorry we're an embarrassment.
It's like you can play your guitar. It'll be
Yeah,
great.
it'll be awesome. So did you find, and I don't like to talk about voice acting too much in this panel because this is our music and other nonsense.
Another nonsense.
Other
So
nonsense.
much nonsense.
Might involve some poop stories, but we'll
I
get
have a
there.
champagne.
Always poop stories.
Always poop stories.
I'm telling you, if you ever meet anyone that's in a band, go, okay, tell me the poop story. Tell me your band's favorite poop story. Because every band has them.
Right.
Every band has them.
I have at least two that I love busting out of
A
parties.
song to the tune of "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?" We put out the cons in the anime, or I think we've done it here a few times. It was "Do You Really Want to Poop Here?" And it was just talking about all the weird places that we have attempted to go to the bathroom. Like
That's the other thing. Other things you can feel grateful for. After hundreds and hundreds of miles on the road, seeing a Loves.
oh,
See? You see the reaction that got? That's exactly the reaction it causes.
clean bathroom.
That's right.
Good food.
Yep.
Stop happy. Anything you need, you can find.
You get grapes, they got real fruit there.
To be fair, the first time I went to a Loves, I got a text message from Kit the next day because she was checking in the band bank account and she was back at home. And a statement came up saying I had spent over $100 on a store called Loves. And she was like, "Where did you guys go yesterday?" We were like, no, it's a gas station.
I was like, was that a sex store? Are you guys going and buying sex toys? Like what?
And it was really late at night, so she assumed it was like a drunken friend.
I was like, what happened? I hope it was condoms and everyone's being safe.
You think we spent $100 on latex?
You know, you were on tour with the band with like 8 guys. There was a lot of stuff going on, and they were not all celibate. So
Anyway, what was your initial question?
my question, before I got into poop and condoms. Anyways, Artist Alley can satisfy any of those needs for you, I'm sure, today. You know, shipping stuff, boys, butt stuff, you know. It's all good. Given, I saw some Given art in there.
I bet they have a poop store.
I bet they have a
They got
poop.
lots of poop.
I get they have lots of poop stories, but it's cuter and more ooh-woo. So, did you feel, because I know for Ciarán, he moved from music 100% into voice acting. Did you feel that singing gave you a really good boost up when it came to getting from the mic technique?
Yes. You learn some tricks singing that you can totally use in voice acting.
Awesome.
Getting away with some pretty, harsh sounding yells that really aren't that harsh at all.
Right.
Because you know how to do it.
That's my bread and butter.
Yeah. and that's the thing is people, and someone should really teach that. They really should, for all those classes and stuff that are
Do
getting
you
taught.
want to do a class on that?
I think someone else could do a class on
Yeah,
that.
we could do that. There definitely needs to be I feel like there's I don't know if you've ever heard of there's a screamo teacher. And
Oh,
she's-
yeah.
She teaches the over the pencil technique to teach you how to get it out of your throat up into the back of your head. And it's like, I feel like, if we could like apply that to voice acting.
Because the thing is, those voice actors will blow their voices out trying to yell and sound like that, and it's like, don't actually do it.
You're not supposed to be
That
straining
hurts.
like you're taking a poop. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be easier than poop.
And what's interesting is I had a session actually for Gearbox where I did a bow yell. It was for the Queen, I yelled for the Queen, and I blew my voice out mid-session, and because I had that like experience of like having screwed my voice on the road and been on tour, I kind of took like 30 seconds and got myself.
Yeah, because Joel was like, hey, do you need to call it? You're like, no,
I was
no.
like, no, give me 5 minutes, I know I got this. So it's
Yeah.
like, I was doing a lot of that, a lot of ups
Yeah.
and downs, and a lot of just massaging and moving my voice around. Yeah.
Well, we were lucky where we were in Vancouver. We have one of the best vocal coaches in the world. Her name's Judith Rabinovich, and she is not only an amazing human being and has the cutest little dash hounds that like run around her studio all the time and will watch you sing.
Mo would get so excited when he'd see me because I was also his dog sitter that he would roll on his back and just weep. So I had to get to session 15 minutes early.
But she's taught like Tegan and Sarah, Avril Lavigne, Sarah McLachlan, Chad Kroeger of Nickelback.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba was one of her students. So
Yeah.
she's taught like everyone. And her thing is she like works you. She works you like a draft horse.
She'd lean over the booth and she'd be kind of
Yeah, shoulders back, chest.
Right.
Chin
Poking
back,
you.
chin tuck.
poking, pulling, and like I
Yeah.
imagine her still when I'm in the booth, pulling, poking, shoving me.
Yeah, those life
Yeah,
lessons.
jaw down, head up.
Yeah.
She would do that
There's a
constantly.
string.
Finger there, finger there. Yeah, there's a string in the back of your neck. I always imagine your finger just right there. Down.
Coming out from behind her piano to be like poke.
And from the diaphragm, and you feel so silly. There are points,
Right.
especially when they're correcting you. You're just like, I feel like the biggest doofus right now because got my chin tucked and my head's up and my guts out. And I'm just like, going, what is this?
And I always imagine her going, and so I always do this sometimes because it just happens.
Matter of fact, there's another thing that comes in handy. We had an actress in just the other day who had a paragraph with no breaths in it.
Oh, my
So no place to breathe in it.
Yeah.
There was a comma, and so there was a hitch, there was a chance, and she did a full-on pro singer breath, just and I was like, she got done, and I was like, that was amazing. She's like, what? And I was like, the breath. And she's like, the breath? I thought you were going to say the read. And I was like, the read was okay, but the breath. I was like, that was a pro breath. Somebody should teach people how to do that, because we get too many people that run out of breath in the middle of sentences.
And to
They
be
have
able
no
to
breath
fill
control.
from the diaphragm that quickly, and it was exactly what
Yeah.
we were just like, to be able to know how to expand immediately was, and to not push all your breath out, to ration your breath as well.
Definitely.
When you go
Because I know you want people in the booth who can actually do the work. Like acting is one thing,
Yes.
but body control is like a whole other
It's
piece of it.
It's underappreciated, I would say.
Yeah, maybe that's one thing we do need to think about, is like a body health course.
Yeah.
Like for singers and anyone who actively works with their voice.
Yeah.
Because bodily health is like, that was my one thing on the road, and that's why I didn't drink much on the road, why I'm not really a big drinker now. Because it wrecks my voice, I know it does.
Wrecks everybody.
You gotta learn what your limits are. Like some singers I know can't eat any dairy. I, knock on wood, have been spared the dairy curse, I'm okay. But fast food, things like that, like I have to ration it because it screws my voice up. Like, and even before like a session where I know I'm doing a higher voice than usual, or I can't rely on my rasp, I pull all that stuff in from singing. It's like I go back into singing mode for 24 hours.
I know,
Make
like
sure
we
it's
talked
good.
about food on tour, but one thing that we found is that Cracker Barrel, for all it's bland and kind of weird and a little fascist or whatever, it actually has food that's made from scratch and is with real ingredients. So for keeping people's health up on the road, we actually stop there.
We ate at Cracker Barrel all the time.
Right. You do the little candle gauntlet where they're like, candles, glitter, and then you get to like
The candle gauntlet.
that's what it is in that place. But let's talk.
You need a magazine holder that looks like a cow? But grandmothers love that. Grandmothers love Cracker Barrel.
Dude, my mom would love, because she would die if she went into a Cracker Barrel.
I took my mom to a Cracker Barrel, and she's French Canadian. She was like, "What is all this shit?" She's like, "What is America?"
And that's when you just tell them Americans are always looking for things to buy for no good reason.
Who's been to a Buc-ee's? like the travel stop. If you ever are on the road in Texas and you get a chance to stop at a Buc-ee's, that's a tour experience.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Funland. What was your
And of
question?
course, see, that's the thing, is I imagine it's even more interesting for you because being an American, I've seen places like that
Never,
forever.
No.
So like coming from a different country and seeing a Buc-ee's going, what? I thought this was a petrol station.
Yeah. Well, what's
Like,
weird
well,
though
it
is
is,
in
but-
the UK we have these little travel stops. They're little travel stop plazas because we fucking hate to drive in the UK. We're like, I drove for half an hour. I need a break. I need to go to the toilet. We took my mum on tour in the UK. We did just like we call it the toilet tour in England because you play in all these venues that are toilets. But like Muse has done it, Coldplay's done it, all the American bands who come over and tour do it. Like
It's kind of a
It's
historical tour stop.
yeah, so it was brilliant. It was such a great tour. But we took my mum and we got on the road and we barely gotten like 8 miles out of our city. We were at the Chichester roundabout for crying out loud. And she goes, when are we going to stop for the toilet? And I was like, Mum, probably in like an hour and a half. You're going to need a bottle or something. Like, so she learned the hard way that like, yeah, when you've got hours to make up.
I think by like day 3 she figured it out because like she didn't ask that time, but I saw her wiggling in her seat. I was like, oh.
Poor mom. So we have these little travel plazas, and they're not quite like a Buc-ee's. It's not quite like that one big room, but it's like you'll go in, and it's almost like a Love's in that sense. You'll have a much not as big as a gas station as Love's has, but we have a little gas station, and then there'll be like a KFC or a little chef or like like a
And then a
Subway.
hotel because they're very
And then a
tired from
hotel.
having driven an hour.
So we have these little like travel plazas, but it's nothing like seeing like a Buc-ee's or like the Little America one.
Even
or, like,
Canada is not like, because Canada has about a tenth of the population of the United States, but it's like massively like bigger.
Which is why we can't tour Canada.
You can't tour Canada because it's just so, you'll die. Porcupines will eat you.
It's like monetarily not
It's not feasible.
economic or feasible to just drive.
And the
Because it's
weather.
13 to 26 hours between cities, and the weather's
Yeah.
so bad. There's mountains everywhere.
Do you, I've had so many friends almost die on tour in Canada.
We've had another band we know lost a member because they
Yeah.
went around a building too fast.
Yeah,
So
it's bad. So we don't do that up there.
we're
don't.
pretty strict.
Yeah.
We have a lot of rules on the road.
Yes,
We don't drive anywhere in the mountains after like 10 p.m., especially if it's like.
And definitely not like after like September 1st.
Yeah.
There's like a 3-month window of safety touring in Canada. But I was going to talk about poop. So let's
Why?
I mean, do you guys want some poop stories? Some tour poop stories? Yeah, come on. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you have a good poop story.
Well, I don't know if I personally.
Don't
have
let
a
the
good-
size down now.
See, the thing is, I don't get me wrong. I used to drink a lot more for sure, but I've kind of generally always taken pretty good care of myself. Besides the over drinking part.
But there's other people you've been on tour with who have
Right. Now those people have eaten garbage and treated themselves like a trash can. And what that
Who was
causes,
that guy?
yeah.
Good for you.
For those of you that don't know what that causes, it's a whole bunch of problems. It's a whole bunch of, I need to stop. It's a whole bunch of, I hope it's a clean restroom because it might not be when we leave. It's a whole lot of that.
Sometimes it's a whole lot of we're getting out here, and everyone scatters in the field.
And then I think this happened maybe once to a few of the guys. Here's the thing, when you're all eating at the same places all the time, if something's wrong with any of the food, whoever ate any of that food, they're all down, all right? So there were times we'd get to places and 3 dudes would be going to the bathroom all at the same time. And you become really good friends with people, you know? When you're pooping together, there's no greater bond than that. Well, maybe a few. There's a few greater bonds than that. But you're bonded forever. That's where I didn't know that there was, I had never heard this before. I had never heard toilet paper referred to as shit tickets.
I've never heard this.
Yeah.
You got any shit tickets?
Yeah, that was the thing, is one of our guitar player who, he had been playing with us for a couple years, but was relatively new to us. And he was there with us, and a few of the guys went at the same time, and I think I was washing my hands at that point. And so I just hear him, Well, because I don't have problems. You know, my system's reliable. Old faithful. That's what I call my. Never mind.
He's gonna outlive every voice actor on the planet.
It's still gonna be Crunchyroll.
You are all gonna be in lockers, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, everyone, doing a jig up here."
But yeah, he evidently, his stall ran out of toilet paper, and he's like, "Hey, you passed me some more shit tickets," and it just cracked me up. I'd never heard it before. And now you've all heard it, and now you can use it.
Now you're
And
blessed.
we give you can. That's our gift.
It'll make you giggle. And it turns out giggling helps you poop.
We had
There's gonna be a lineup in the bathroom after this.
Yeah.
Dude, we had this kid that we toured with. It was me and another band, and the whole point was I would front for they would backing band me, and then they would play on their own too. So that band were going hard. They would have like 2 shows a night. They were amazing. But there's their singer, who traded merch table privileges with me, was a super young kid, like 19 years old, fresh off the boat, like just wanted to hit the road and tour, stars in his eyes. He wanted us to stop and drop a CD off at like Epitaph Records, and I was like, bro, no, we're not doing that. But he was so convinced that this was our first tour and we were going to break even. And we were like, bro, it's never going to fucking happen, dude. Take the L. Take the L.
He was also a ginger.
He was so cute. He was really hardcore. He was like, I don't know if you ever heard of the Gallows from England, but he was like a tiny little Frank Carter. He was so angry, but he was this tiny little ginger dude. And I remember we were at a gas station in, I think it must have been Arkansas. And he comes
No, it was in California.
No, it was before we got to California.
Oh, it was Phoenix.
Because Phoenix was the first shit stop.
Oh, right.
So I remember that venue. That was the same place with the Revolver, actually. And it was a fun tour. I have so many good memories. So he came back to the car and he's smiling, and we were in like an SUV that was 6 of us, and we're a big SUV. And he comes back and he's grinning and he's got a bag, and we're like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I'm gonna eat dinner for $1 today." Why? And he's like, "Because they got 2 for $1 taquitos in the gas station."
Oh
And we
no.
were like, "Bro, don't eat those. Ever. Like, throw them out." I was like, "I will buy you Jack in the Box. Just leave that shit put that shit back where it came from, so help me." But no, he was so convinced that he was going to be the guy that made us break even on tour, so he made the taquitos. About 6 hours to 8 hours later, the issues started. And what would happen was he would run out at the gas station, and then we would have to go to another gas station or place because no one wanted to use that toilet when he was done with it. And it's typically a 1 toilet situation. So we drop him off, we do our thing, and then we come back and pick him up. They usually look a bit pale.
There was he'd grab his butt cheeks
Grab his butt
and like run across like the
as he
pavement.
ran, and we'd watch him run away, and we'd just be like,
"Oh, buddy, I hope he makes it."
The funnier part is he thinks he's gonna catch it should it fall out. That's the funnier part.
I think
That's some ancient monkey DNA that we've still got in us somehow. Like it's just instinctual to go, I've got to catch this. I have to catch this, and I may have to launch it.
I think at that point he was actually holding the cheeks like together.
Yeah.
The flow, like holding a faucet shut. Like I need a tourniquet.
We had to get a stapler.
But at one point he was sitting in the back and he asked, and he was like, "I can't sit," because we had a little push the seat forward situation and he needed to be in that front seat. And we were like, "You should try to sleep it off." And he was like, "I don't think sleeping's a good idea in my situation." Yeah, maybe not. But he shot his way up the I-5. It was amazing.
Like from Los Angeles to Seattle.
Los Angeles to Seattle, that poor little guy, and he would go up on stage and he would, and I would wait in the bathroom for him and hold it for him, and then he'd run off stage and he'd just shoot into the toilet at the end of the set.
Yeah, you were a real pro. That was nice of you.
Well, again, using that kind of pressure with your diaphragm, you know what that can cause. You're squeezing and then inhaling
You
and
know
squeezing.
what, though? He was a freaking champ. He hit the stage every night. He gave a one. I don't know if he ever made an accident. He never shared that information with us.
They did have the poop sweats pretty bad.
Yeah, props to him for getting, and that's part of it, right? Props to him for getting up there and doing it.
And plus, once you're up on stage, they kind of expect you to sweat anyway. So
Right.
they can't tell.
The
They don't know why
adrenaline,
you're
they don't-
sweating.
yeah.
They don't have to know why.
It's not, they don't know it's tequila sweat.
The adrenaline hits. What was cool though was we got to play a lot of, like, I moved from anime, from touring on road where I'd kind of like be in a bar and I'd be like, who plays D&D? And everyone's ignoring you, to I started playing at anime shows, which was how I met a bunch of voice actors and got dragged into the purgatory, the amazing, wonderful purgatory that was anime voice acting. And we loved playing anime cons because like it was super fun. We had like a bunch of people that actually wanted to see us. They got all our geeky references. But that in itself came with like a whole bunch of funky stories. I gotta share my favorite because it's one we tell everybody. We call it the champagne story.
Oh God.
And it happened at a really good convention, and I love them to death. They're like super good people. But we had we'll trade on that.
Do you want me to tell her? Or do you want to tell her? You're welcome to.
So you can chip in though. I'm not like you. I'll get mad if you chip in. I can tag team. All right. So basically, we went to a convention that we were good friends with. They wanted to see about the logistics of bringing in a Japanese band to play. And so I was like, well, I have a band that I played with while I was touring out there. They're awesome dudes. They know all my songs. If you want to fly them in and like, you know, just book us like one sound rehearsal and give us all instruments and, you know, blah, 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 guest stuff, you could sort of test out the visas and see how it works. And so, you know, they end up coming over and it's awesome, except for my bassist, who was this really sweet, nice dude. He spoke a bit of English, so we actually got to like, communicate a lot. He was a really nice dude, and he didn't get his visa in time, like convention, you know, happens, it happens, it was a test run. And so we ended up getting an American-Japanese dual citizen who was living in Japan at the time, but was born in Los Angeles. And that way he didn't need the visa and he could come and play. So he was the replacement bassist. And you know, long story short, there were hiccups. You know, the jam space wasn't booked for us to practice. The instruments weren't there when we got to our show, so they had to like. Kit was basically like, "You're gonna give me a credit card, a van,
And a driver.
and a driver, and I'm going to Guitar Center like right now with a list," which they did. They were amazing. We had instruments when we got on stage. But you know, there were some hiccups, and so throughout the weekend the convention was really good and really wanted to make it up to us, especially because the guys were Japanese, and it's customary to make sure that you take care
It was
of
also
the
like
guests.
Hatsune Miku's drummer, so.
Yeah, I like delayed Hatsune Miku's tour. Apparently they couldn't announce it until I gave them a date, so that's my one claim to fame. You know, throughout the weekend they really made it up to us. They bought us dinner on the Saturday night, and we could get whatever we wanted. The guys got a bunch of stuff and shared it and tasted it. And then we went to another place on the Sunday night, which was kind of the last night, and it was a bunch of the guests, including the band, and then sort of all of the guest handlers and relations department, and like a couple of the other crew, and the agent of the Japanese band who'd come into. And we were taking up two really long tables, probably about as long as that, like in each of the restaurants, like two of us side by side, so we were a really big party. And I'm sitting sort of, there's the con head. He's like opposite me, and I've got my band here. And Erica Mendes probably remembers this story. Erica was at the end, and a couple of other people. And my guitarist turns to me after the con chair once again, says, you know, you guys get whatever you want, we'd love to make it up to you, thank you for your hard work. He turns to me and he goes, you know what, I'd love to get like a bottle of champagne, just to mark the occasion, you know? And I was like, you want to do a what now? He's like, we should get a bottle of champagne, right? We're a band, we should do this. I was like, oh my God. And at that point, the con head is heard, and he can't say no. So he said, of course, Ciarán, like, go ahead, go. And I'm looking at him with the like, help me eyes. Like you don't have to do this. And he's like, no, do it. And of course the waitress has heard at this point, so she's coming back over with the menu. She knows she's getting a really big tip after this. And I'm looking, and the bottles of champagne range from $100 to $500. And I'm like, for the love of God, this is going on the convention tab, and there's a rule as a guest. Like when they say buy what you want, it means you can have a drink, but you don't get like lobster and champagne off the menu. It's like this is a con. They're volunteers, you know. There's a budget.
It's like, don't do it.
Don't do it, man.
Don't do it.
And some people do.
Maybe try the chicken.
Yeah, try the chicken. It's really good. Some people do, and then we all laugh at them behind their backs. So you know, it is what it is. And so the waitress comes over, and I was like, okay, fine, we'll get the cheapest bottle, like $100 bottle. That's great. And at this point, I'm like, I need some more.
because I am freaking out. So one thing I do, I have mental health disorders. One thing I do when I'm freaking out is I like to just remove myself from the space. So I left, and we were in a weed legal state. So I went across the road, and I decided I was going to just enjoy myself. And my band manager comes over, Kit comes over, and they're talking to me, and they're making sure everything's okay. And I'm like, you need to tell the con head, I do not approve of this. I'm freaking out. This is not okay. Because they're friends of mine. And Kit's like, no, yeah, everybody knows, everything's good. And across the road, we see sort of everybody smoking, gathering, you know, outside the restaurant. The bassist comes out. He comes out, he leans right across the road in front of all of the staff and yells, Ciarán, our champagne is ready! And I'm just like, okay, so I'm going back inside, and I sit down, and everyone's got a glass of champagne in front of them. And like, I remember specifically Erica kind of doing this. Like, why do I have, like, you know Erica, like, and she doesn't give a shit. So she was like, why do I have a glass of this? Is the weirdest thing. And I sit down, and my bassist is like jittery. He's like, because he's like, at one point this weekend, he started off very concussed. And at one point,
Friday night, to me, and he says, we're like gods to these people.
And I looked at Kit and I was like, we need to deal with this dude. Like, this dude is not okay. But it was after our set, and it was the first Japanese band to play at the con, so of course people loved them. And so, you know, we are gods to these people. We were already a bit wary of this. And so I sit down, and he comes up to me, and he's all jittery, and he's really a god to these people at this point. And he's like, I think we should make a toast, you know, like we should really toast.
We should make a speech.
Make a speech. It wasn't even a toast, it was a speech. Oh my God, I think we should make a speech to mark the occasion. And I'm so not here at this point, and I'm like, you know what, buddy, if you want to make a speech, you go ahead, you know, like you're the one who suggested it, champagne was your idea, like go nuts. So it was like, okay, so like, what do? Do I get the waitress to like get the other table's attention?
No. No, you don't.
And I'm like, no.
This is why you're a bass player.
This is why you're the bassist. This is why the bassist sleeps on the floor. And my mind goes lightning fast, which shouldn't have been possible, but I go, no, because I don't want to make the other table feel bad, because we're guests and they're staff and they don't have champagne, and that seems a little bit snoopy. And he leans over and he goes, don't worry, Ciarán, I already thought about that, and I ordered a second bottle for the other table. At which point I said, please, can I have some absinthe? And I don't remember much of the rest of the night. That's a champagne story.
That's beautiful.
Some people.
We don't work with him anymore. I think I defriended him on Facebook.
He was fun. He was
You know it's real. So as we were talking about poop stories, John had sent me a text message that was just basically like, remember Colorado. And I feel like that might be a threat. So we're not friends anymore. But I thought if you wanted to play one last, we could do one last before we end the show.
Let's see.
Or you're like, nah.
I'll sing another song I wrote in Colorado long ago.
Oh, Colorado song. Look at John
Colorado
Denver up here.
That it also involves a Sunday. And one of my other favorite used to be hobbies. Not so much anymore.
Oh, good.
But okay.
All right. It's gonna be drinking up.
It is.
Love it.
What do you say in times of silence? What can I say to my best friend? Are we having fun? Are we merely coasting? Are we getting closer to the dreaded end? She looked at me with wonder in her eyes. She looked at me with a bottle in her hand. She looked at me and said, what do you say? Let's do some living. Ever after I will be your girl. What say we save the money, marries for a month. it up, sorry.
It's Sunday.
We're gonna get there again. Well, no, I mentioned that, but here we go. I'm gonna start a little over, because you deserve to hear the right version.
Are we lucky?
I'll start at the chorus, though, so you don't have to fuck with the boring verse. Let's see, where was I? This is the fast version.
Alvin and the Chipmunks version.
Okay. What do you say? Let's do some... No, that's not the right one. Okay. What do you say to celebration? I got it. Okay. Don't you know the best is coming soon? What say we save the Bloody Mary? I fucking up the chords now. What say we save the Bloody Marys for a Monday? Drinking whiskey on a Sunday afternoon. Drinking whiskey on a Sunday afternoon. What can I say when you feel so distant? What can I say to make things right? Can we disagree and still remain together? What can I say to help you through the night? She looked at me, love in her eyes. She looked at me, she turned down the light. She looked at me and said, what do you say? Let's do some living. Ever after I will be your girl. What say you? What do you say? You take my hand now and let's run around the world. And let's run around the world. What do you say? Celebration. Don't you know the best is coming soon? What say we say the Bloody Marys for a Monday? Drinking whiskey on a Sunday afternoon. Drinking whiskey on a Sunday afternoon. Sorry for the roughness there. I haven't played that song in a long time.
I just want to thank you both. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love this kind of so different from what we usually do at Con.
I
So
like the vibe of it.
Right? We need to find more musicians
We do.
and expand this.
yeah. Awesome.
Guitar.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. I also want to thank you for coming. This was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Are you still signing or are you done for the day?
We're done.
You're done.
I'm done.
Oh.
We're heading back to Vendors in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll be at Vendors.
We will be
Come
at
say hi.
Vendors. Woo.
Jerry will not be there.
And I will see you at closing.
Yeah.
Be safe, y'all.
There's the off button.
Morning, Maya.